Hi, buddies. My overall reflection about the creative coding sections. I have learned a lot. The coding sections made me to be more productive in education. It has helped me to make lesson plans faster, and I became innovative in teaching and learning. Educational robotics, I've realized that it involves a lot of collaborative work. People have to work together in teams to design, build, and program robots. So, in these sections, we were more collaborative. It was a collaborative environment, which has improved me in communication, cooperation, and teamwork. So, I have gained a lot of collaborative skills. I have learned to share ideas. I have learned to divide tasks, as when we were busy with the creative sections, we were able to share our screens so that we help each other to work on the tasks together collaboratively, as to work on a common goal. I have learned that these skills are very important even for future careers, even to solve real world problems. We need to be collaborative at all times. So I have gained a lot of coding skills with using Scratch, using Lego, Mindstorms, and visual robotics. They have made me to be able to integrate my skills in any subject. So even if I am to change the subject that I'm teaching today, I will still be able to integrate coding into other subjects. I've learned a lot from Scratch, and I think I will use Scratch a lot in my classrooms. I am still learning about visual robotics. It's still challenging to me, but when I am more good and familiar with it, I think I will add it more to my classrooms. But for now, I am going to focus more on Scratch, as it's something that I have gained a lot in the coding sections. I have learned that in order for me to introduce robotics in any place, I should not scare people away, but I should start by introducing the basic concepts of robotics, and what is a robot and how the systems work. I have learned that the coding does not begin with computers, so I don't have to introduce robotics in form of computers. If we don't have the resources, I have to follow the thanks lesson plans, which I was taught by Techno Granny Puti, and show other people that unplugged coding can happen, and it will help us to be more open-minded when it comes to coding, not to just think about computers. So the challenges that I experienced more during the coding sessions is that I had to learn new teaching methods which will accommodate the different learning styles and abilities of learners. So a robotic classroom needs certain teaching methods, which was quite challenging for me. So to be able to set my lesson plans in a way that would integrate robotics was very challenging for me. So when I have to code for Scratch to make it a curriculum lesson, not just games which are not educational purpose. So it was a difficult thing for me, but I have learned and I have overcome those challenges. I think I'm doing much better in integrating the curriculum and robotics together, as I've realized that and other learners might prefer hands-on activities, while others might excel more in the programming itself and problem solving. So in order to accommodate the learning styles when learning, which include robotics, it was a very quite challenging, but I am improving and I am still finding ways to incorporate the educational robotics better in my teaching so that I'll be able to foster creativity, critical thinking skills in learners, and to ensure that technological literacy is being more advanced in the learning process. Therefore, I've realized it was also very challenging to code the robot in Lego, and then when you go to the VRT, it's not performing what I have expected. It was very challenging, but I am still looking at YouTube videos to see how other people code, to see how to make it more better. But I do realize that even other people who expect they code and then it doesn't do what they thought they are coding. So I am learning from my own failures, and I am doing much better. How can I draw experiences and learning gains when I plan creative coding clubs? I plan that I have to engage students in a hands-on activities where they can build and program their own robotics. I have to use the robotic skills and kits platforms that are designed for educational purposes as Scratch, as the Lego and the VRT. Hence, these kits, they have components for sensors, motors, as in VRT, and they have programming interfaces. So in case I don't afford the resources that I need, I will have to opt out for unplugged coding methods, which I learned from Thanks by Technogranny. Thanks to her a lot. We don't have to stop saying that our clubs don't have resources, but we have to continue and show learners how to assemble a robot and teach students the programming skills in a practical application and show them how to code through writing, through specific tasks. So we have to be very creative in our robotic clubs. And also, I have to encourage the people that will be involved or our students to reflect on their robotics projects and evaluate their own performance. And in our clubs, I've realized that we have to discuss the challenges that we face and find out more new strategies that we can use in our lessons, and allow learners to also share their own experiences, which is something that I've learned a lot here in creative coding clubs, here in the creative coding sessions, because we're reflecting after each and every lesson. So it's something that I'm going to incorporate in my coding lessons. So I have to promote self-assessment to the learners, to other people that I'm going to introduce the coding to, and help them develop a deeper understanding of robotics context. Yeah, so it was a very good session. Overall, it was enjoyable, and I plan to make it enjoyable in my school, in my district, and in the coding clubs that I'm going to create. Thank you so much for listening to my overall reflection about the coding sections.